Well, hello, FISBO, for sale by owner. Congratulations. You're selling your house and you're selling it on your own. Takes a lot of courage, a lot of stamina, and of course, rejection is also a major challenge. I'm doing this 19 years. I still hate rejection. It's tough, but you can get through it. Hang in there. Now, you're getting a lot of calls and you're getting some traffic. You may have had an open house today and a lot of interest, and you're excited, and you should be. And it looks like this house will be sold in a day or two or three. It was a good idea. Which one of you thought of it? Well, you both did. Okay, I'm with you. Let's talk about this for a minute. Let's analyze these calls. Who are these calls? Well, you've got realtors, lots and lots of realtors, just like me, calling. And what do they want? They want the listing. Fine. Okay. Some of them may be saying, I have a buyer. I have a buyer that's interested right now, but I need to have a listing agreement signed with you so that I'm protected. Well, I'd be a little skeptical about that if I were you, and my guess is you probably are. Then we have another group. We have the individuals who show up without the realtor. And why aren't they with a realtor? Anyone who has enough money to pay for your house has enough sense to know that they can get a realtor. It doesn't cost them anything. The seller pays for it, right? And it makes life so much easier. The realtor will help them find a house, help negotiate it, paperwork, contracts, everything that needs to be done, appraisals, repairs, inspections. It's a whole bunch of stuff. Why would they try that on their own? It's a very tricky thing. I'll tell you why. They probably don't have a pre-approval, and a realtor won't work with them, not without a bank pre-approval. They want to see that the bank says this guy, this gal is worth X on the house, and that they're willing to go with it. Now, you have another group that's trying to contact you, and who are they? They are investors. Investors sound like, everyone uses the word investment. It's synonymous with real estate, right? Well, an investor in our business is someone who wants to buy something below market and sell it at market. Whether it's a fixer-upper or whether it's your house. So why should you sell your house below market? There's no reason for it. There's no reason for it. So question, what is market? Market is whatever a buyer is willing to pay. That's a conversation for another time. Now, these individuals, some of which are showing up, may be using the word owner financing. Maybe looking, why? Because they can't get a mortgage. They're challenged. Maybe through no fault of their own. They lost their job, there was an illness in the family, something happened. Doesn't mean they're bad people, but hey, you want to get paid at closing, right? You don't want to become a bank. Banks are banks. You want to move on, right? Okay. Now, HAR keeps statistics on all this, and here's what HAR says about all this. HAR says the odds are that in 28 days you'll be shopping for a realtor. They also say that if you, by chance, sell this house before the 28 days, the odds are you'll sell it for about 14% less than a skilled realtor. Why? 14% is a lot. Well, I'll give you one example. Have you been to a flea market? I'm sure you have. Everyone has. When you go to a flea market, you expect to pay full list price? No, you do not. You come there because you're looking for a bargain. That's all the fun. It's the treasure hunt, right? So you see something and somebody wants full list, you're not going to pay. The mindset is, hey, this guy has a lower overhead than somebody that's in a mall or a retail store environment, doesn't pay for the help and the rent and the insurance and the taxes and I don't know. There's no reason why I would want to pay this guy list price. I'll buy it, but I need a deal. Well, guess what? The average individual that walks into your house and knows it's a for sale by owner, if it's a FISBO, They want that 3%. But not just that 3%, the 3% plus whatever the discount on the house, which they call the negotiation. Okay, typically the negotiation can run 5%, 10% off the asking price in that range. And then the lack of negotiating skills, assuming you may not have the real estate negotiating skills, which is a skill set of its own, believe me when I tell you that, that's where the 14% comes. Now, where does HAR get these statistics? They gather them from people like me. They ask questions when there's a closing. How much was the asking price? What was the actual selling price? What was the mortgage amount? And all this is gathered. It's very important data because we use that data to analyze what we're doing and analyze the market. And it's important for you to know this as well. So I have one more point to make, and that is the first 2 weeks of what you're doing. Because some of you may be saying to yourself, well, gee, Harry, all right, we're listening, but let's try this. We've gone this far. Let's see what happens. If this doesn't work out, we'll call a realtor. My wife knows a woman who just got her license, and she's a nice lady, and her kids are in the Boy Scouts. We're going to use her as a realtor. Very good. Well, here's something very interesting. The first 2 weeks of the listing is the most important 2 weeks in the life of that listing, in the process, because that's when you have the most activity. The activity is like a bell curve. It looks like this. It goes up, 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 up. Hits 2 weeks, down, 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 down. Things start to slow down. Traffic slows down. Phone calls start to slow down. Interest seems to be waning. And what happens to your listing? It gets shoved back, back, back behind the ones that are coming out each day, each hour, right? So why is a 2-week listing worth less than a 1-day listing? Well, a realtor working with a client wants to show them something that's fresh and new on the market. Real estate is like fish. The longer the listing sits there, the more it starts to smell. Questions arise. Why is it sitting? Why isn't there anybody buying it? Must be something wrong. May not be anything wrong. What may be wrong is we made some bad choices. We decided to do something that may not have been in our best interest. So here's what's important to remember. This is fun, but you're playing with the most valuable asset that your family possesses. In most cases, that's true. You've worked hard to accumulate that money. You worked hard to accumulate that equity, and you don't want to play with it. You don't want to play with it. Those monies are important to your future and to your family, and I don't have to tell you that. Listen, one more thing. I hope you sell this house, and I hope you sell it before the next email that I send you. But if you need my help, whether or not you're my client, I'll help you. If you need contracts, disclaimers, paperwork, if you have questions, I can't play lawyer, that's not legal, but I'll help you with whatever I can. Give me a call, 832-769-1640. And thanks so much for listening to me. Look forward to meeting you. Bye-bye now.